What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns welcoming you to another episode of my Q&A series. That's right, it is back after a little hiatus. The first Q&A of 2016. It's your opportunity to ask me whatever questions you want regarding Grand Theft Auto Online, Mafia 3, Fallout 4, any of the games I play, gaming in general, personal advice, etc. All you had to do to have your questions submitted for Q&A 15.0 and future installments is either leave it below in the comments section, tweet it my way, send it to me via the Facebook page, or if you were feeling old school, you could always email me, GeauxBurns@gmail.com. But for this installment of Q&A, I decided to also open it up to other YouTubers via the Freedom Forum because I am a member of Freedom, which is the network I am partnered with. But first, I'm going to let my subscribers, my viewers, my fans go first. And we're going to start things off with Blizz. He left this in the comments section. What are you most excited for in Mafia 3? Well, thanks for the question, Blizz. And I'm obviously very excited about Mafia 3. A few days ago, we got some more information about it. We know what the city is going to be called, New Bordeaux. We also got this cool postcard code that was already decoded on Reddit. And basically, we're going to get some more information in a few days, I think on Tuesday, April 19th. And I was a big fan of the first two Mafia games, Mafia: The City of Lost Heaven on the PC. I loved that game. It was so much fun. Then, of course, its sequel, Mafia 2 on Xbox 360. And ever since we got word last summer about Mafia 3 being in the works, along with the trailer that dropped back in August of 2015, I've been very excited about the third installment of the Mafia franchise. And what am I most excited about regarding Mafia 3? Well, that's difficult because we only know so much information about Mafia 3 right now. Hopefully, coming up on Tuesday, April 19th, we'll know a little bit more, and we might even have a trailer, perhaps even a release date. Now, what I'm most excited about regarding Mafia 3 is the fact that this is a franchise that I really want to get back into. I absolutely love the Grand Theft Auto series, obviously. I'm a big fan of open world games. And even though I still absolutely love playing Grand Theft Auto Online on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One with my friends, viewers, and subscribers, it is admittedly getting old, okay? It's getting a little long in the tooth, and as a gamer, you're always looking for the next awesome game that you're interested in. And for me right now, it is Mafia 3, and I'm very enticed by everything I've heard about so far. The setting in the late 60s, early 70s, the location, New Orleans, aka New Bordeaux, which is what the name of the city is going to be in Mafia 3. And as somebody obviously from Louisiana, not South Louisiana, I'm up in Northwest Louisiana. Even though we're more like East Texas, we're still technically Louisiana here. I've been to New Orleans a few times. I love that city. And I can't wait to actually be able to play in a fictional version of New Orleans, aka New Bordeaux. And I'm also very, very interested in where the Vito storyline is going to go, especially with how things ended for him at the end of Mafia 2. So thanks for the question, Blizz. I'm very excited about Mafia 3, and hopefully it will be out sometime this year, and it will not disappoint. Our next question comes from Crone, and he wants to know, when I started YouTube, did I think that I would get to 1,000 subscribers? First off, thanks for the question, Crone. And I'm guessing that you're talking about this channel, my GeauxBurns channel, aka my gaming channel, because this is not my original YouTube channel. My other one, which is more of a political opinion channel, which I started back in 2009, at one time was well over 1,000 subscribers, but I kind of got burnt with that channel and politics in general back in 2012. And shortly after that, YouTube started purging a lot of really old accounts, and a lot of my subscribers were no longer active, and that took a huge chunk of my original subscriber base away from me on that channel. And so I was well below 1,000 by the time the YouTube purge was complete. Not just on my channel, but many other channels out there. I still post content on there about once a week, but anyways, back on topic. What Crone was probably referring to was this channel. Now, I've always been a gamer. I've loved gaming ever since I was a kid, and I've mentioned that a few times, and I am a huge Grand Theft Auto fan. Been one since my teens back in the late 90s with the original top-down version when it came out for PlayStation, the original old-school PlayStation, and I've loved the Grand Theft Auto series ever since. Now, I knew that there were other YouTubers out there covering Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online. I just never got around to making a gaming channel until I decided to in March of 2014. And 2 years later, to my surprise, I have over 1,000 subscribers. By the way, thank you all for subscribing to my channel, watching my videos, leaving comments, likes, sharing my content with everybody else, because without you, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So I really do appreciate each and every one of you for continuing to support me as well as the channel. So when I started 2 years ago, did I think that I would get to 1,000 subscribers? Well, it really wasn't about making a ton of subscribers or views or money. I was just doing it because I love playing Grand Theft Auto Online, and I had ideas for videos, and I decided to stop thinking about it and start doing it. I had potential to be successful, and I still believe I have a long ways to go before I get to that point. Even though it's been 2 years now and I've busted my tail making content almost every day since then, well over 1,000 videos on my channel with nearly 200,000 views total, which rocks, by the way. I realized that getting to 1,000 subscribers was a victory, but it's only the first of hopefully many victories to come. I want to get to 2,000 and 5,000 and 10,000, perhaps even 50,000, 100,000, a million, and even a bazillion. But no matter what fate may have in store for me and this channel, I am humbled and honored, as well as grateful for where I am right now, because I realize that there are a lot of other gaming channels out there, and it's hard to be noticed. It's hard to get attention when you got so many others out there posting similar content. So I look at it this way. If we go by subscribers, I'm doing 1,000 times better now than I was when I started 2 years ago. Now, if we look at it from total views, I'm doing nearly 200,000 times better than I was 2 years ago with the original Bolingbroke Penitentiary video that I made on March 20th, 2014. Thanks for the question, Crone. Now we're moving over to some of my fellow Freedom YouTubers, part of the Freedom Network. By the way, Crone is also a YouTuber. He posts some pretty funny Rockstar Editor videos. So if you're into Rockstar Editor videos, be sure and check out his channel as well as my GeauxBurns 2.0 YouTube channels. With that shameless plug out of the way, let's get into the questions that were submitted by fellow Freedom YouTubers over at the Freedom Forum. First off, Only Ultimate Gaming asked me this question: what inspired you to do YouTube? Thanks for the question, Only Ultimate Gaming. So what inspired me to get into YouTube? Well, it's that $5 I make every month. Oh yeah, the fat stacks, $5 motherfucker. Not just kidding. So obviously this is going to be a continuation of what we were just talking about a moment ago with Crone's question. Now, I got into YouTube originally because I've always enjoyed making media content, because at one time I was in radio. I interned back in 2001. I was hired as a part-timer, and when I was hired, I started off working as a promotions assistant in the promotions department, as well as a board op, which runs the board whenever a DJ is out doing a live broadcast. A few months later, I got to start doing a weekend overnight air shift, so I actually got to be on the air from midnight to 6 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday evenings, which is why I'm probably more of a night owl these days instead of a morning person. So I was in radio for about 5-6 years, and I ended up moving up to nights, weekends, a couple other markets as well. Other jobs I did while in radio is I would go out and help tech remotes, putting the equipment together. And I did production for commercials, spots as we call it. And I even started getting into programming as a music director. And that's the direction I was going to go with my radio career. But unfortunately, thanks to corporatization and cutting corners and downsizing, as well as automation and deregulation, which started back in the 90s, there really isn't as many radio jobs as there once was. So eventually I got out of radio, but I still had a passion to make stuff. And eventually I ended up making a few YouTube channels, and the rest, as they say, is history. Thanks for the question, Only Ultimate Gaming. And the final submission for Q&A 15 comes from another YouTuber over at the Freedom Network via the Freedom Forum, Fat Matt. He wants to know, what was the last time you ate so much that you couldn't be bothered to move afterwards? Thanks for the question, Fat Matt, and of course for everything you do in the Freedom Forum, which I am part of. Now, when was the last time I ate so much that I couldn't move around and I felt like I was in a food coma? It's pretty obvious. As an American, one of our favorite holidays is Thanksgiving. And I've had, numerous Thanksgivings under my belt when I used to wear a belt. And for the most part, I do try to eat healthy because I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to get back in shape, even though it seems like an uphill battle. But I recall a time whenever I think I first moved to Louisiana from East Texas, because even though both sides of my family are from Louisiana, I was born, raised, and grew up in East Texas. I had several Thanksgiving houses to go to on Thanksgiving back in 1999. Or was it 2000? Maybe both. Maybe a couple of these are like combining years together. Around lunchtime, I would go to one family's Thanksgiving meal. Then I would go to another family's Thanksgiving meal. And I at least went to 2 or 3 different ones. And by the time I got back to my grandfather's house or my rent house or my apartment, whenever this happened, I forget, I'm getting old, I'm starting to lose my mind, I was completely gorged and loaded down on food. Turkey, dressing, rice and gravy, ham, even a slice or two of pecan pie, and I also brought home leftovers for later in the evening or the next day for lunch. Needless to say, I don't glutton myself like that anymore because, for one thing, I'm trying to lose weight, and the reality is there's a lot of people throughout the world that are not as fortunate, and I just feel bad whenever I stuff myself and eat way more than my body actually needs food-wise. So I hope that answers your question, Fat Matt. And of course, thanks to everybody that submitted their questions for Q&A 15.0, along with Fat Matt, Only Ultimate Gaming, Blizz, Crone. You guys are awesome. And if you want to partake in Q&A 16.0, that'll probably be in about a month from now. So be on the lookout. A week before I do it, I'll post it in videos. I also promote it on my other social sites like Twitter and Facebook, which is all the more reason why you should follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook, and R, whichever you happen to prefer. And before I get out of here, I forgot to do something the other day. A shout out to one of you. That's right. Whenever you ask me to do a shout out, I get around to it eventually. Maybe not the next day, but in some sort of video, I will eventually do a shout out. Now, this one is going to Elliot. This shout out is for you, Elliot. You're welcome.